fellas, welcome back to another session of Carnivores Q&A. We've not been around for a little while, stuff, doing much more important things. This channel isn't about so much timeliness and being absolutely perfect with our, regular uploads and lives, but it's about getting some information out there. So if we don't get a knife, we don't do it, no one else will. So we're advocating here as we can. But apologies in advance if anyone can't hear me at all. I'm using the only phone I can't computer anymore. The wires destroyed. I'm pretty much stuck with a bad computer. Basically, that's what I can do. But Juliet, you can see on the screen there. A lovely backdrop. You'll be able to hear her much better, so I might give her the floor a bit more to speak if possible. But how are you doing today, Juliet?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
All right. Yeah, I'm on today's day 2 of the sugar diet. I really wants to have just some sweets. That was it. No, I'm not advocating for it at all. I don't think it's good long term. I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think the mechanisms are helpful for people's long term health outcome. But I thought I'd try it anyway, just to see what would happen. Some people say, "Oh, but you've not tried this," because people like to sort of overpower and domineer people's lives because they're foreign arseholes. I'm just going to try it and see what happens and report my findings. But it's not a clickbait thing. I'm not sort of going full circle. I'm not going to do it long term. All I'll say so far is I feel a bit different. Artery signaling is very strange in that you eat food, you don't quite feel as bloated because the protein's very low. But it's like you eat food, but you feel kind of fed, but not. It's like I'm sitting here now, like just eating a load of sweets and stuff after the gym and had some soup and some bread or something, or low fat stuff. I'm sat here thinking, I'll probably eat that again. It's probably not a good thing. I mean, any food you can continue to eat, past the point of nutrient requirements or energy requirements, is probably a bad thing. But yeah, what's your take on the sugar diet, Julia? Out of interest?
I think it's a bad idea. I mean, I know that if I did something like that, I would be so emotionally erratic. Like, I'd be all over the place and just in a case of like a state of just like shakes inside and out, and I'd probably get a headache. So I'm steering clear.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally recommend it. I'm monitoring myself just to see what happens. Just there's a point of just to say I've tried it. Worst case scenario, and this is the worst case scenario, it does something which helps me. Um, Means that I can have better analysis of what happens when you do this sort of thing, short or medium term, I guess. So maybe a day or a few days. We'll see how to transition back out of it. So it's not just a case of stopping diets and seeing what happens. It's like, well, are you going to sustain this long term? Probably not. So how do you go back out of it? That's an approach we trying to refine with this right now. But what I will say is that I'm significantly heavier 2 days in, or 1.5 days in because of it. A lot heavier.
Wow.
It's not at least by looking at the scale weight, it's not a weight loss diet. Is in you're not going to do it and think, oh, I've dropped off 20 pounds in the first week. If you're doing it and it means that you're restricting your food choices and you're eating Kentucky Fried Chicken every day beforehand, yeah, you probably are going to lose weight. I was on a clean carnivore diet. Context is quite important there, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm sticking to just the meat. Yesterday was a holiday here, and my dad came over, and I'm actually going to on my channel put. I did a short interview with him about his transition to carnivore, very short. But I made burgers, and it's like I don't know, it's like burgers, 4th of July barbecue. It all goes hand in hand, and just sweet meat.
They stay in the supermarket. I spent a lot of time picking out foods to eat. It's a real pain. Whereas I think the value of the carnivore diet is that you only go into the supermarket and buy what 3, 4, maybe 5 different things. You walk out.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking I bought like 7 different types of candies, um, 2 types of bread, 4 cans of soup, and I had to walk down every hour. So from a longevity standpoint, if you're trying to like minimize your step count, it's not going to be very helpful. So,
Yeah, I mean, basically, like in my fridge right now, I have ground beef, ground lamb, some steak, some eggs, some salmon, some cottage cheese, butter.
yeah, I used to eat more cottage cheese when I was a bit younger, but not so much anymore. I suspect the casein content of it is too high, therefore it gives me a bit of stomach irritation. Also, it is quite a processed. It's a food, but it is still quite a processed food, so in a sense, probably a bit higher in histamine. I looked at mechanisms recently regarding like pain pathways, and excessive histamine intake beyond what your body can tolerate does seem to be closely linked with glial cell activation, which is a pain modulator, which is involved in the spinal cord. So there are some foods for me which could cause me more pain. It's quite interesting. But yeah, cottage cheese, if you tolerate, it's good food. High protein.
Yeah. But and you have to
Um,
read labels too. Like the one I get's pretty clean. Like it's basically milk and cream and a little bit of sea salt. But I've seen some that they add all kinds of stuff. It's like all kinds of like some even have like sugar. Like even if they're plain cottage cheese, like why do you need to add all that? Milk, cream, salt. That's all you need.
literally what sort of ones I'd buy. I think when I've bought it, it's been literally two or three ingredients and that's it. But you do get ones with pineapple and herbs and stuff, and yeah, it's probably all right. But the other day, there's no enzymes in the pineapple to help you break it down. So it's not like an additive to the food. It's just sweet, sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
Do you get like yeah,
I put
a bit
hot
like
sauce in mine. I know hot sauce isn't for everyone, but I like hot sauce and cottage cheese.
I've seen bodybuilders do that because it gives you a bit of unique flavor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The creamy and spicy, nice mix.
yeah. That's one thing I like is some kind of like what do you like some sort of spicy sauce with pulled beef brisket, load of peas in it. I think that's quite a nice. It still looks like a Mexican kind of dish, um, without being too like dirty.
Yeah.
What's your itinerary for your week? Got anything planned for your channel or anything?
What?
Got anything planned for your YouTube channel?
Oh, I'm gonna actually meet my mom for lunch later on and get meet with a friend for coffee as well. That's my weekend. How about you?
Uh, I've got two more coaching client check-ins. I had a load this morning actually, which was really good. So I like to get them over and done with sooner rather than later. At least then the coaching clients have got more time sort of asking questions to get clarification they have, like sooner rather than later. Once it gets to like midnight, I'm like, why pick midnight? Like, why do you not ask this early? I don't know. Um, yeah, I've got that to look forward to. I like doing my coaching. It's good fun. I enjoy working with people I work with. Got currently one space left really for clients. Beyond that, it's just not enjoyable because you can't give them that personal touch. And not to the extent that I'd like anyway. So yeah, but that's about it. Just coaching stuff today. I've got an issue uploading one or two videos that I've made recently on iron overload and sugar overload on a carnivore diet. How they relate to blood tests, things like that. It's about a 40-minute video, but it's just not it's not downloading basically. So I'm like, bugger, a 40-minute
Yeah.
spoken video, and I can't share it with people. So
I'm very
I'm kind of
interested when you finally get it uploaded. I'm very interested to hear what you have to say.
yeah, it's nothing between you and the carnivore space, but basically, if you're a carnivore, there's two right, not really, but there's two main oxidative stress to the body for our diets. One sugar, one is iron. So I'll just talk about the mechanisms that are involved in that. I have some scientific references, some exploitation, um, how the carnivore diet can help that or alleviate the potential of that, and give some quite a bit of detail as well. So I actually learned quite a few things myself when I was researching it, but like not so much useful things like in the context that apply to me, but for someone else with certain like conditions like hemochromatosis or you like dealing with a lot of glycation damage from years of a standard Western diet. I learned a few things there. So that was quite nice. That's one of the best things about these long format videos I make is that you get to learn a lot more than what you do just for someone's live Q&A and a video. That's like, oh, what do you think's good? Oh, meat, salt, and water. Great, that's helpful. No, that just raises more questions than what I have had already. So yeah, try to make videos more nuanced. Um, other than that, this in about a week or so, I'm going to go with my brother. We're going to celebrate my birthday a little bit later. So we're going to go out, cinema, gym, maybe a meal, something like that out. Um, the next month, I think it's on. I may be wrong, but I think on the 2nd of August, we're going to an event called the Great British Meetup. So people that are watching this yourself yet might recall I posted about being a guest speaker at that event. But what we're going to do this year is just going to attend the event, probably hand out some flyers, just meet some people that want to see me there. So and it's probably the nearest event to me in terms of carnivory, keto, low carb in my local area. So I think it's the least I can do really to support the community and meet
Yeah,
some people.
that'd be fun. I'm actually. Oh, sorry. What?
Yeah, Karen.
Yeah, I'm going to a meetup in August too. Me and my sister. I'm excited. It's going to be in Kalamazoo, which is like a couple hours from here. So we're getting a hotel, and I'm looking forward to meeting other carnivores from around the area.
Yeah, these sort of things are good because you can swap ideas, recipes, and I go to that farm shop down the lane or something, and I speak to Norman and he gives me a deal, or those sort of things are quite helpful. So you'd be quite surprised at what you can benefit from with these sort of things. I think. Um, I just hope to get over to I was a bit. I don't have to say this. I was a bit. I, fe- I felt like it was a bit sketchy when I watched a recent video by the promoters or the people that made this meetup thing. Um, it came across quite strange to me, and I had to listen back and read the transcript because I think it just seemed odd. Basically, they did a video saying, "Hi guys, we got this event coming up, and it's in about 6 weeks' time. Just a few weeks back. Just so you know, we can have burgers for the kids, but try not to eat them because they're for the kids. Let us know if they're coming or not, and book your ticket because we need to know numbers." And I was thinking, like, it's going to be a shit show where I sort of turn up. It's all pork. There's nothing there I can eat. Oh, you having the burgers, are you? Oh, they're for children, really, or something like that. So I've been to these events before where I've been conned out of eating food because um, they've either not got enough or they've not specified what food's on the menu. So the approach is a bit strange, and I kind of hope that they're not gonna be like divvying up. Oh, you've had this and you've had that sort of thing, because otherwise it spoils the point. It's not a meetup if you can't eat meat and you're limited to certain
Yeah,
portion size.
people should be allowed to eat whatever meat they want to eat. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just me misinterpreting it. I listened back to it and it's like when you run these events, especially the first time, you have to anticipate that if you're lucky, you might break even. If you're very lucky, you'll make money, but in most cases, you won't. So you kind of have to expect, well, you have to over deliver a bit to get people to come back the next year, get better, more popular, more noteworthy names, 10 things like that.
Yeah.
That's one a lot of business marketing on a bit. I think it's part of me being anxious, but I'm a bit sort of stressed out about it. I'm like, I'm going to be paying a lot of money to go to this, a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not being penalised for it, and I'm probably going to draw more people there to watch it than not. So I don't want to be there and just have like be like £400 down in terms of I don't know accommodation or travel or tickets or any extra expense that I have. Just find out I'm going somewhere where there's not enough food, which would be devastating. I'm not
Yeah.
really that blasphemous, but it's a bit like you kind of want to get your money's worth when you're paying that much money to attend something which is brand new.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my life chat is not my popular today. Three people. I'm probably one of them. thing is, I'll make this live stream with you, Juliet. We'll give up our time, and I'll get people email me tomorrow and say, "Oh, sorry, I couldn't turn the live. Turn the live. I've got a question for you." We could have written the question in the live when I first put it out there yesterday to ask the question. Then I'll be made to feel guilty for not answering it because I want to spend all day answering people's questions outside of a live stream.
Yeah.
Um, that's the bane of my existence at the moment is just screen time. So hence the blue rocking glasses. How are your children doing, by the way? Sorry, I forgot to ask.
It's just William and Ari are doing well. Xander is having his struggles. You know the whole story, but partial story. He was hospitalized in late May, late April, most of May, and while he was there, he was diagnosed with epilepsy. So, he's got his emotional stuff, but also his seizures and so I tried to work it out through diet as hardcore carnivore as he could, and just find he loves meat, but and you know what, I make no apologies. He needs to be on some medications, and I'm going to do whatever I can to give him relief. Yeah, it is what it is, but I just hope we can get him some help and relief.
The thing is, you get a mother of three autistic children. It's not like he's not been through the hoops and loops already to get to this point. So it's not Juliet saying, "Oh, just give him some meds." It's that well, she's tried the other things that's not worked. So what else she use? And people will argue, "Oh, but it's not natural." And it's like, well, we don't live in a natural society. Going to school isn't natural. We're going out wearing clothes is not natural, historically speaking. Natural is obviously relevant in the context of the situation that we're in any given time. So naturally, right now, I'm sat here. That's just my nature is that I'm sat here right now. Um, but what we could say is, ancestrally speaking, we've changed a lot. We're indoors more. We're subdued to different environmental exposures, potentially harmful um, things at birth might be given, different diet, different hormones, all sorts of stuff going on around the world. So we can only manage and mitigate the time we have. So yeah, I'm not pro medication. I'm pro holistic diet, lifestyle stuff first. But beyond that point, there's only so much you can do. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
the under medication now with the epilepsy or
huh?
the under new medication for the epilepsy.
He is, yeah. And it was one of those things that we had to like really gradually build up the dose because it's not safe to give him like the full dose right away. And giving him medication is, I mean, I agonized over the decision. Obviously, I want them to live as naturally as possible. And, we still eat carnivore at home, but there's just some very deep stuff with the brain. I mean, he was born premature, and he was born, they had to do an emergency C-section because he had the cord around his neck. I mean, maybe he was deprived of oxygen. I mean, there's just some deeper stuff, and it was causing him to suffer, and I don't want him to suffer, you know.
I think I was similar birth. I was upside down, Valerian a lot. Now look at me. Super. Yeah. What's the weather doing over there? Over here, right? It starts off quite mild, a bit sunny, but now it's like dreary and like humid and grey. Is it like over?
It's really hot, um, really, like it's been in the 80s and 90s, like to the point where my AC cannot keep up. Like it's set at 75, which some people might think it's warm, but I get cold easily. It's set at 75, but at the hottest point of the day, it will be like 80 degrees in here, and it will not get cool down to like the middle of the night because the sun's down. And yeah, the AC cannot keep up with it. And they say, oh, to get fans and all that. It still won't help. It's so hot and humid here.
My room right now is exactly 20 degrees Celsius. Um, that's the coolest it's been during a daytime hour in a couple of weeks. Um, if outside, it will typically be about this week. It's been to be 25 degrees Celsius. Um, with the aircon on set at 16, it will go down to about 20 if I'm lucky. Even then, I've got a fan right next to. I'm just lying here all day, just trying to get too hot. Yeah, the heat does paralyze me completely. I can't put me somewhere a few hundred years ago. I wouldn't be alive. Few hundred. Yeah,
Yeah, modern comforts help in this weather.
yeah, we're not quick for it over here. Um, I'm not someone that complains about the cold either. I welcome the cold. Like yesterday, I had a cold shower, and I was like, "Is that as cold as it gets? Is there like an extra bit where I can turn the handle a bit more and it goes like minus?" I was just lying, well, not lying. I was like sat on my little uh, shower stool, bit on my head and my body, and I was like it couldn't submerge enough of my body to get the whole benefit. It's just like I've got a cold face or a cold back or a cold chest. That was about it. But you know when you just can't get your whole body cold, it's irritating.
I'm always cold. So if I'm complaining that it's hot here because I'm always cold.
But Josephine, I'm going to say hello. So hello, Josephine. Thank you for joining. She's just
Hello.
popped over. That. I think that's where everyone is right now. But appreciate them coming on just for a few minutes, if anything. What else is going on? That's why I'm really. I mean, I want to do some more collaborations in the future with other people on YouTube, but it's so hard to find time. Not just for me, but people that I tend to collaborate most with are either from the US, New Zealand, or Australia. Um, Australia at the time zone's really shit, so I keep trying to catch up with DC. DC rebuilding, but it's not him that's the problem. It's mostly me, to be honest. He's got like nighttime and daytime slots, so I can work around it. Problem is, when I've collaborated with him before, he's either not been busy, he's been traveling away or something, or I've just been there the day before and I'm like, I don't want to be on camera or speak to anyone or do anything or hear another voice. So that's my
Yeah, we
limitation. Wave load is very extreme. It is at night.
Yeah, I would love to do more collaborations with people too. Like I'm very comfortable talking to you, and Nicole. We've talked on Facebook and stuff. We haven't talked yet, but I like Nicole. But the thing is, because of the autism and the social anxiety, there's people I want to reach out to, and then I just get anxious, like, oh, am I going to be bothering them? And oh, I'm going to be awkward. Once they talk to me, they're not going to like me. So it's like more like a fear of approaching people. There's so many people in the space. I'm like, I like their vibe. I think we'd collab well, but I get nervous.
Yeah, you know me. If you want me to sort of ask someone on your behalf, I can, or link you up. I might soften the blur a little bit, but at the end of the day, I think once you're on the camera with someone, you'll just get along with them just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because the thing in August, I don't know a whole lot of I don't really know carnivores in my area that I'm not related to by blood. So it'll be really cool to see, and there's going to be some cool guests there. I know Dr. Tony Hampton will be there, and some others, and it'll be nice to. My sister went to a meetup in Chicago last month, a couple months ago, and she made some good friends, and but it was from like a Facebook group she's in, and it's not a group that she's like, it's not for you. And I get what she means because this particular group is very much about like they do calories, and they're all like and I know that for me that would be very triggering. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm glad you found your tribe, but yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah, I was on Facebook quite a bit, but I found I was just it's, I never know how to put these things across. It makes you always sound really arrogant, but I'm a bit. in this very particular aspect, I'm a bit like Bart K. I can't bloody stand people that are wrong, but they talk the absolute fact. It really irritates me, like really bothers me. It's mostly my own anxiety, I guess, but I'm sort of reading absolute mindless dribble, and I'm like, you're charging twice as much as me for a consult. You've got your course, you got a certification on a 9 month holistic nutrition course certification that's only valid in places that accept it, which is like virtually nowhere. You got these guys on YouTube who are like coach, fill in whatever blank name he or she, whatever, CPL, LLP, NSD, TV8, and they all mean fuck all. These qualifications are they're nothing. They're like you can literally get them in about a day, and they list them as if it's like a PhD, like a something noteworthy, but it's not, and it's becoming a bit frustrating because I'm getting even some people I'm friends just pump out so much crap. Like, oh, it's not about your cholesterol levels. Oh no, it's about your triglyceride ratio. I'm like, shut up. You don't know anything about this. Okay, tell me what a healthy triglyceride ratio is.
Yeah.
They can't tell me. They can't tell me. What's a triglyceride? What's the fat in it? Yeah. Um, then I say something about, yeah, but it's about the particle size. Okay, how big should the particles be? You just you fire these questions at them, like the really layman term questions, and they're like, they didn't have a clue. They just read it online. They've Googled it. They've written out the first thing, made a paid some guy on Fiverr in India to write up some the graphics they make with the carousels, like eat carnivore, it's good for you. Boost your testosterone. Then these foods are good for your testosterone levels. It's like, yeah, but everyone's doing that already, and the testosterone levels aren't changing. So there's a different problem there. Something else you need to look at. But I think it's just too generic, and it's too I mean, I'm sure like when you first start carnivore, you probably came across I don't know, Ken Berry, Anthony Chafee, maybe Bart Cake, different people, and they've all got something different that they bring to the table, which is really good. I'm not criticizing them in that sense at all. But what I'm saying is a lot of the information out there is so generic and it doesn't actually apply to many people. So one example might be, add some electrolytes to water because you've got cramp. Well, okay, in what ratio? What, I don't know. Just add them. Okay, so you could be defaulting to the same ratio you already had in your body, just adding more, so you're now drinking more and excreting more. You're actually getting a null effect, a defect in your diet.
Yeah.
That's my problem. It's more like nuance of things. Like it's a generic advice that I can't stand. But you know, people at Bark obviously they put out good advice because the reality is if you're doing the health hack you recommend, chances are you're getting about 90 to 95% of the benefit.
Yeah.
But anything is particular, it's like based on your own mentality. So for example, I've picked up about 2 or 3 clients recently, coaching clients. 2 of them have eating disorders, binge eating behaviors, things like that. It's fine, it's not their fault. I say to them, it's not their fault. It's society where it is, the background that has cultivated that kind of behavior. Um, and the reality is, the approach has to be very different for them. So me saying, "Oh, but Dr. Chafee says eat meat, salt, and water, and you'll get all benefit," is it's not tailored advice. So I try to stay clear of people that give that generic advice because I know they just regurgitate what everyone else has said. And you ask
Yeah.
them and they don't do that themselves. Like, no, I've always maintained my stance on a mixed animal food diet containing about 70% meat plus, and the smallest person should be eating about half a kilo of meat, generally speaking. Um, then it goes up from there. Salt to taste, drink the first. That's largely it for most people. But I've been to these exhibitions before, and they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, I eat high fat carnivore." You watch what they're eating. They're eating like fillet steak with nothing on it, just some salt. They don't follow that. It's not what they advocate. Um, oh, but you look at their day of eating. Their day of eating is like the most expensive lamb chops. It's like a £30 or $40 in a day sort of meal plan. Like you tell me you eat this every single day, yet you also complain about not having any money. Someone's not telling the truth there, guys. Someone's being a bit dishonest. Um,
No, I mean,
that's,
ground beef is my friend economically. I mean, the local butcher has really good meat. I can get like 2 pounds of fatty ground beef for like $10.
um, yeah, it's about the same over here. If it's a fatty kind, it's even less, maybe over here, a little bit
Yeah,
less. Yeah, can't get wrong with that. I mean, I think anyone in my country at least can follow a carnivore diet for pack of meat, £4, pack of six eggs, 150, maybe some butter and cheese, £2, 450. That's £7 British, like $9. Like,
that's pretty
most,
good.
most yeah, like, I say like most, like you for example, you'd be able to do that. Then if someone does it in the kitchen, it might be a bit more. So
Oh yeah. And if people aren't looking, he will steal the meat off their plates too.
I've seen that where someone's got like an extendable fork and they're like,
Yeah. But you know, and I feel good supporting the local butcher, and they're always really really thankful. They always say thank you for supporting us, and I mean it's like such good quality meat. You know that they don't add any crap. Like it's just the good stuff.
yeah, meat over here is pretty. I'd say you've got low, mid, and high tier meat. So high tier meat's going to be from your farm shop. Mid tier is going to be like reasonable quality supermarket stuff. And low tier is like your frozen, your bottom of the mill filled with crap and water stuff. But one thing you do have over here is you don't have the drawback of our food being pumped with hormones and pesticides and crap. Um,
Yeah,
food is pumped with that, so it's a bit. The food system over here, I say, it's cleaner than US, but it's not absolutely perfect by any means.
yeah. One thing that you told me before that surprised me, and that you mentioned just now, I think, is the ground beef patties over there have added stuff like seed oils, and I know that like here, like if you get fresh, it's pretty much guaranteed. It's just the beef. But also even frozen, there's some that might have added stuff, but a lot of the frozen patties, which I always have on hand in the freezer just in case, are also just beef. So I was surprised that like they would put oil in burger patties.
Yeah, it depends really. I mean, what I found is it when they add like caramelized onions or if they want to make something a bit tastier, but the thing is, it's a very subjective experience thing. So I know some people that like smash burgers you can get over here, which have like pea protein and pea flakes in them because the texture's a bit. I can't stand it. I think they're horrible. I can taste it. Um,
Yeah, my
but
mom's
you know,
very allergic to pea protein.
yeah, it's high. I think lectins is high in. Peas in general do bloat me right out if I eat them, so I try to avoid them. Uh, yeah, the pea protein itself is not well absorbed, digested. The fiber in it is too high. You don't think it's like a tiny little thing with a little skin around it. You're not going to peel those and get the fiber off them. It's not going to happen. You know.
Yeah.
We're going to address some comments in the chat now, just so I've got everyone involved. So I need to unflag it so I can read it. Um, what's up, Jonathan? Going to a stream with DC soon. These streams are great. You guys should do your podcast together. I thought they were right with Juliet personally, but all right, we have to screw Juliet over and get DC on the stream. Yeah, with DC, the ones that we record are typically um Friday UK morning time. Unfortunately, he was away, I think, last week or this week. Our schedules don't always align well, so but there are things we intend to do. Just because we agree, they are very informative talks. Not just from what I've had, but also what he puts out. We have a respect for that. We share each other's experiences, and we're two people in the carnival space that I'd say have been online for quite a while. Um, there's two neurodivergent people, along with Juliet, of course, as a third member of the tripod. I guess it's quite unique, quite interesting. I think that those are very helpful, but we are looking to do more for sure. It's just finding the time really. But I'm glad you like them. That means a lot to hear, and I'm glad it helped you. If it does. Uh, Andrew's mentioned the background. He likes it as well. I like it as well. What do you think, Juliet? Is it soothing or is it just annoying having loads of meat on the grill being cooked over?
It makes me hungry.
Yeah, I think I should be sponsored by Big Meat. Definitely. Um, mission. So it's making me want. Sorry, I thought I had this. It's making me want a barbecue. Yeah, no. Yeah. I used my. It's not a teppanyaki grill. Yeah, I've got like a hot plate. You can like sear stuff on it, but I used that to cook the burgers on my birthday party. We used the air fryer and the oven as well. So we had beef burgers, chicken drumsticks, chicken wings, chicken sausages. I think some people had pork belly, which is cooked separately, obviously. Ooh. Um, I think we had a few like keto-ish dip things involved somewhere, and loads of cheese.
Cheese is good.
Like every cheese you can think of apart from blue cheese. Um,
I
it's,
love
it's,
blue
it's,
cheese.
I think it's something I would like, but it just gives me really bad headaches because of the history in it, I think. Um,
uh, I like it on burgers.
yeah, I might treat myself next time I'm out and get some. Um, there we go. So I've got something from Andrew as well. I'm just going to read it before I put it up on the screen. Um, one thing I don't understand is that people try to say nitrates and bacon are absolutely fine. And then in and of themselves, yes they are. But when fried or cooked at high temperature, they're carcinogenic. That's a key point to make note of, and Andrew's absolutely correct. So these things aren't probably going to kill you. The thing is, where we cook bacon nowadays, people cook it to a singe. You want that rendered crispy fat and stuff. You don't want wet, soggy sort of bacon. Um, sometimes it's not about what the ingredient is; it's how you prepare it. And the thing is, like, if we look at the nutrient quality of different burgers, for example, you might get a bit more vitamin C in a beef burger if it's, I don't know, sous vide, slow cooked, and left in its own juices and doesn't condensate, well, it doesn't evaporate with the moisture everywhere, which causes titration of vitamin C into the water particles that come out. But then again, you end up with a burger that's like soggy. So we fry burgers, put it in a pan. Um, we try to preserve some of the almost like the redness of the meat, just so there's a bit more vitamin C content in it. But that's just one example of nutrient. Now we're looking at what you might call anti-nutrients, so nitrates and things. And he's absolutely correct. Yeah, sometimes when you cook things, they do leave some kind of backlash to the body. Now, can the body tolerate it? I guess it's individual, isn't it? Julia, have you ever had that experience where you've had like some food almost like raw or more plain cooked, then some other food you might have cooked it to a singe, like burnt it almost. And it's like it's not. It's either one had an impact on your satiety, or two had an impact on how it digests or how it feels once you've eaten it. You ever noticed that
Yeah.
before?
Recently, I don't know. I kind of like things more pink, like not raw, but I do like them like not if it's something like like a a bacon type thing or something like a beef bacon. I like that crispy, but like burgers and steaks, like I feel better, like my digestion's better, satiety, all of that if it's not raw, but very, very rare.
Yeah, I'd say the same. One thing I have noticed is, and a lot of people on like the raw carnivore way of eating, that's a bit of an oxymoron, maybe, I don't know. But people that eat, more prime, I guess you might say, they're like, oh yeah, I eat all this meat, and it doesn't hit the sides. I don't feel bloated. And I'd attest that. I think the same. I mean, I had some sushi yesterday as part of my sugar diet experiment thing. Again, I'm not advocating for it, guys. Don't do it. I'm mastering myself here. But find that the raw salmon and prawn did digest really well. Like I had
Yeah,
no input at all. Like it just delivered down or swam
I
down.
love raw salmon and salmon roe. I love salmon roe too.
I like that. You only get about a tablespoon in, which is probably a good thing. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Just again, Andrew said eggs are pretty cheap. I know in the US they're expensive.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think, I mean, everyone's like, oh, eggs are so expensive. I mean, it depends on where you go. I get a lot of eggs, and if I shop in the right place, I don't pay that much.
yes. I looked to the price comparison between eggs that I'd get in a shop versus eggs that a Rick would get in a shop in Miami. And eggs over here are actually more expensive.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're not used to pay. You guys aren't used. Well, I'm not saying it's your area, but it's more Miami, Florida sort of thing where Rick lives. Maybe I don't know.
Which
But
would be more expensive than here.
yeah, where Rick was having them, he's not used to paying that. So, in context, yeah, it is expensive, but for us, it wasn't that bad. But yeah,
Yeah.
we pay. I want to say if you went to the supermarket here, Judah, and you're like, I want to buy 6 eggs, you're probably looking at about $2.20. That could be anything up to $4 if you buy like the super premium mega egg with gold lace yolk. I don't know.
That's still a pretty
A lot.
good price, though.
Yeah, yeah. I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I think I generally buy like mid to high tier eggs just 'cause I think the fastier the food that you take in is, the more you should be willing to spend money to get the better quality.
Hmm.
Just 'cause the fat a lot of toxins are stored. So, I mean, I'm not saying that these things are toxic, but I'm saying cumulatively over a 10-year span, yeah, it might make a difference a few percentage points. So who knows?
Yeah. And I know so many people here, and I'm not talking carnivores, but just people who eat the standard diet or whatever. Like, oh, eggs are expensive, but then they'll get like a $10 fast food meal from McDonald's or whatever. It's like you're saying eggs are you bought one meal and you could buy like 2 packages of eggs for that much.
Yeah, I mean, when I started a carnivore diet, I could get I'd spend in McDonald's for two triple cheeseburgers, no bun, no sauce, no rabbit food, for like £7, about $9. Now I can't spend that little. I do spend a lot more on food than I used to, but I'm nothing else I have to spend money on really, other than like the health stuff. Uh, I worked out my health stuff, but I paid because of my health stuff in general. £1,000 approximately extra a month. So if I didn't have a Toy to buy and whatnot, I'd have a grand extra in my month in my bank every single month.
Wow.
See, when I say to people, oh, I don't mind spending a bit more on food, it's like, well, I'm not buying Waitrose super finest everything, but I'm buying a better quality average supermarket stuff. So
Yeah.
I in that sense, but you know, I'm looking at percentage points here, and so you take what you can get. But I want to say hello to Nicole as well.
Hi,
I'm just talking
Nicole.
about Nicole. I can never make a bloody live stream. She's up at like 1 in the morning. I'm like, can you not make these like 6 hours earlier so I can actually participate a bit better? Rather than be
I'd
like,
love to have
oh, I'm just doing.
Nicole in on one of these sometime. Nicole, come
Yeah,
on our stream.
yeah, do it, Nicole. Do it like the good old days. Lots of swearing. We used to have good fun. Nicole and I would do loads of streams together, I think.
But
Um,
I can't do a live in 2 weeks because, as I mentioned before, but you probably don't remember, but I will be going up north to see Bare Naked Ladies, which is exciting for me.
enjoy that. That's good. It'd be a nice thing. You take like pictures and hopefully meet them again and say hello. Stuff.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. And I'm hoping I can share them while I'm there, but I don't know because last time I was in the Upper Peninsula, my Wi-Fi and everything was like really bad, which is annoying, but also like kind of good to have an excuse to kind of unplug. So I might be sharing while I'm there, or I might post everything when I get back home and I have Wi-Fi. Depends on what my connection's like. But it'll be nice because it's like in the Upper Peninsula. I'm in the Lower Peninsula, and up north it's way more naturey. Is that a word? I have some cousins up there, so it's a good excuse to see them. And yeah, just we're gonna go up there like a day early. Their kids are with their dad that weekend, so he said he would take them the day before, and my dad and I are we're gonna drive up, and uh, it'll be nice to just kind of get away and have some time in nature. And while I'm there, see my favorite band again.
Yeah, I've made a new friend recently, Juliet, and they're put it. They live maybe about an hour and a half away from me. But this lady's been quite helpful with some things regarding my health stuff. So chasing up letters, meetings. Um, I'm going to meet her at this festival in a yeah this festival in a few weeks. Um, that'll be good. I think she might be on the channel. She might leave a comment after the video. I don't know. She might be listening, and she might not. But she's had her own health journey as well. But I've known her for years just through like comments on like Bart's channel and Harry Sopranos' channel. And I'm like, I finally got to know her, and I'm like, I actually quite like this person. I was a bit unsure at first. You know, when you see a name when you people, friends, social media, you're like, oh, I see this person quite a bit. I'm not sure about them. You know, when you just, I don't know. I never had a reason to dislike the person, but you know, you just don't feel like you have a connection with them. But yeah, I made a friend there, so I'm looking forward to meeting them. Um,
Yeah, that'll be nice.
we've got a question about salmon. You want to have a crack at this first, Juliet?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, I've never had a problem with parasites. I eat cooked salmon about twice a week and salmon sashimi about once a week. I don't know. I haven't I'm no expert on anything, but I've had no issues after many, many years. But I also make sure that I know where my meat is coming from. Like I don't get gas station sashimi. Like they actually do at the gas stations. I'll have sell various like food items. Like some gas stations do have sushi. Like I'm not gonna get sushi at the gas station.
yeah. I'm gonna read the question again. So, have I ever met someone with an issue to a parasite, salmon, or any raw fish? No, zero, zero humans, zero people, zero people. Is it possible? Yeah, probably. Is it likely? You'd be better, you'd be better versed wasting that energy or using that energy worrying about parasites and salmon on buying a bottle of water and
Mm-hmm.
drinking. That's how much of a non-issue it is. Um,
Yeah.
the incidence is impossibly low. Not impossibly, 'cause that's pretty incorrect word, but like it's extremely low. If you are concerned about, salmon, things like that, 2 weeks, deep freeze, then thaw it out, then consume it. If you bought it, it already is frozen, you don't have to worry. Um,
Yeah.
Parasites are in all food, and they exist enough innately. So you'd have to actually prove one, is the parasite within the salmon bad for you? Two, how much salmon would you have to eat to cause a problem? And I can tell you from my experience, at least, in my opinion, I probably let's say over the past 5.5 years, on average, in total, 1,500 fillets of salmon. Um, most 99% plus cooked, I'd imagine. But I've never had an issue of parasite or mercury poisoning from salmon. Tinned,
Yeah.
tinned, definitely. Tinned tuna can definitely give you some mercury poisoning, which is not good, especially for the autistic mind. I think personally it's a non-issue. In terms of sashimi grade salmon, probably even less of an issue. Um, Same with like raw milk. You'll get one person get some infection, or, gastric distress, or be put in hospital for drinking raw milk out of so many 100,000 people. Let's never drink raw milk again.
Yeah.
Um, you know, then it's odd. Then the other thing came up on Instagram recently. It was about, who was it? The Carnivore Bar Company. They're making some clickbait Instagram carousel reels, and they had a picture of a fish. I think it was a salmon, and it's all infected and toxic and parasite ridden and scabies and look like crap basically. Look like something you wouldn't want to fish out and eat. Um, and that was just some copyrighted image from somewhere on the web where there's one salmon that got absolutely destroyed, infected, and all sorts of stuff. And they continue to post misinformation just to rage bait people. Oh, it's toxic, this, that, and the other. Da, 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 da. And it's like, what do you know? If you limit the amount of salmon that people are going to eat, they're more likely to buy beef, and they happen to sell a product which has beef as the main ingredient.
And
Wake
salmon's
up,
still
people.
carnivore, but yeah. I've never had the carnivore bar. My sister gets it sometimes because she travels for work. But I can't justify the cost. But she makes her own pemmican bars sometimes, and I do enjoy those. And I don't think I would probably enjoy them. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble or like I'm not ragging because I've never tried carnivore bar, but I think if you have a homemade pemmican bar, it's probably way better.
I've tried all of these products. I've been given most of them. I think the Carnival Bar is a good product. I think it's not affordable for really anyone. Um, As in, if I was given like 1,000 of them, yeah, I'd eat them. Would I promote them? Am I affiliated with the brand? I decided not to be, because I thought it's too expensive for my following. I didn't see a good value proposition on my end in terms of commission, and I didn't see myself actually regularly buying them because of the expense. For that reason, I couldn't oblige and say, "Oh yeah, sponsor me, sponsor me, sponsor me." Um, but yeah, these products are nice, but they are products in the end of the day, and I think if you've got the know-how, you probably can make these things on your own. Um, if you got loads of money, go for it. Spend all your money on these things, but not great because of I get people touching me sometimes you get at work with they're like, oh, I can't afford these supplements, and I'm talking like basic, cheap, affordable stuff, a vitamin D tablet, for example. And they're like, it's a bit more so consult clients than coaching clients, but they're like, oh, money's a bit tight at the moment. The next thing you know, they're buying like keto mojos and blood testing kits, and I'm like, come on, wake up.
Yeah.
In 1 month of your money that you're investing into this ketone monitor doesn't do fuck all. Doesn't provide you any reliable information. Um, Honestly, you'll get a lot more from working with me as a coach. Even if you know everything I know, you get a lot more from accountability, adherence to the diet, and a better training plan. And if you waste your money on 100 and $200, whatever it is, on these digital devices just to tell you that you're eating carnivore-based diet, which you should be anyway, which you should know about because you're putting it in your mouth.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I just don't get the whole overcomplicating everything and we, like, I don't know. It's so, like, buy all this stuff and, to tell you what to do because you're smart enough. You're smart enough to figure it out yourself. I mean, I realize when people are new to things, like, they need some guidance, but every now and then, like, you don't need hand holding the whole time. Like, you're an adult. Figure it out. I don't know. Does that sound harsh? I don't know.
It's a fair comment. People aren't going to like it, but it's a fair comment. At the end of the day, people are going to spend the money on how they choose to. That's completely fine. That's their prerogative. But if they come to me and say, "What do you think?" We've got a different story on that, guys.
Like,
Stop
oh, well, you
constantly.
asked.
There are some practical uses of a ketone measuring device. Yeah, I mean, the first one is in of someone trying to elevate ketones to help keep them on track. That's one instance. The other instance is where someone is using it to achieve a highly ketogenic level of blood ketones or breath ketones, assuming they use the same method each time, just to make sure that they're most probably raising autophagy, reducing senescent dead zombie cells in the body. And if they're fighting cancer, that might be useful as well. Have a high ketone level and just to know. But outside of that, I mean, if you're eating a diet which is 90% fat, for example, and 10% protein, and then you're buying these ketone monitors and thinking, oh, it's not gone high enough ketones yet, you're eating 90% fat. What, what number do you expect it to be? And how do you know the number that you expect it to be should be? They can't answer these questions. I find myself at consults oftentimes just poking holes in people's um, ideas. And I understand where they come from because the people out there that promote these things, their affiliate links and stuff crap. Um, on my website, guys, you won't find any affiliate links at all. I think the only thing on my website that's unrelated to what I sell is my merchandise store. I get about a 10% cut from that, but it's just clothes, accessories, stuff, merchandise, with my logo on it. That's literally it. It's not. I'm not selling someone some product that then saying, oh yeah, if you buy my vest, it'll give you 20% more muscle in the gym. It's well, no, if you support my brand, there's the option. There's a logo if you like the logo sort of thing. It doesn't go beyond that. So yeah, the things that I do recommend are in my YouTube video description. So the blood testing people that I used, um, some herbal supplements that I might have used, some products that I've used to improve my kidney and liver values and subject to health experiences. Um, Skin wrap, things which I actually use and have bought myself with my money. Then I happen to recommend it and I get a small cut for it, like 5%. Outside of that, there's nothing. I get approached by all the same people, all these guys do, like Casey, Bart, Dawn. I just don't see value in most of it. I'm honest. And if I wouldn't use it or buy it myself, I don't promote it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really use like I think the only like known product I use that I use Relight and I use Redmond Real Salt, but like the supplement I do take some ashwagandha and I take something for my adrenals because they're yeah, but it's like a company nobody's heard of. So like I'd be bad for because I'm like you, I wouldn't want to just promote stuff and like the only like Redmond's the only company I think that anyone would and maybe Vital Proteins for the college. And other than that, like I got nothing I can sell. I don't use that much.
Oh, and one thing I do promote is Keto Pro, electrolyte, things like that. They're
I
things
don't
I
think
do
we can
buy, and
get
you,
those here in the US.
you can get them over there. Yeah, he'll ship them to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was like they wouldn't ship here for some reason.
Yeah, you just have to uh, give him a direct message. The way he'd probably do it is like, oh, if you buy like a load of them, I'll give you a discount, or I'll subsidize the shipping. But I'm not saying he would do that, but it's the sort of thing he would do. Like he'd rather break even on selling the product to you,
Yeah.
just so you get like, try it and recommend it. Uh, he's very good like that. But,
Yeah, I'd
yeah,
be
I
open to
recommend.
trying that because I know he's your friend and like I would rather support somebody that, a friend of a friend than like a company. Yeah.
Yeah, his products are legit, and they do help. They do work. They're very clean as well, which is good. So if someone's quite strict carnivore, the majority of them are very very clean. Um, Even like protein powders, they've got multiple sources of protein in them. Um, I believe they're grass fed, and he doesn't use a lot of like filler crap sweeteners and stuff. Um, if you want to make something sweet, you can sweeten it yourself. So the option's always there on the table. That's why I quite like that as products.
Yeah. Pretty
But
simple.
I'm gonna go, I think. Um, so freezer. I always thought you're better off just buying eggs than buying a carnival bowl of product. I would agree. If
Yeah.
you serum content it should be lower 'cause it's less processed. Um, these snacks are not staples. I think even if I had a limited sponsor of Carnival Bar, I could eat them every single day. I probably wouldn't eat them every day. I'd probably have them 3 or 4 times a week. It's just like a snack, just 'cause it's quite nice. But I wouldn't make it a staple at all. So I'd much, if I had a choice between, oh, you can have unlimited eggs or unlimited Carnival Bar, probably choose the eggs. That's a good
Mm-hmm.
point.
Yeah. I mean, you can just like hard boil some eggs ahead of time, take them with you in a Ziploc bag or whatever. And I've never tried the carnivore bar, so it might taste good, but I think I heard that it's like $16 a bar or something, which I have 3 kids. I cannot. And I mean, 2 of them are young men who eat a lot. So,
Yeah, from memory, I think about $10 to $14 per bar over here,
much.
equivalent. That's about how much I spend on food in a day.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy like 2 or 3 cartons of eggs for that much money.
Yeah, I can see why they cost a lot, so I'm not crapping on people, but
Yeah, it takes
if
some
you've
effort
got
to make them. Yeah.
it's the effort, the machinery, the cost of processing, the staff, branding, the packaging,
Yeah.
um, but the amount of meat that they need to condense into making those bars, I can see how they probably aren't making a giant markup in terms of like the profit,
Yeah.
but they are very expensive to make. That's one thing we can't dispute really.
Yeah. I mean, if there's something to have on hand, like I said, my sister, if she's traveling, I can see that. But like I know like some people get subscriptions. I couldn't justify a subscription. Like I'd maybe get 1 pack and if it lasted me a year.
So I think we'll wrap this up now because we've answered questions and done all the stuff and given some people
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, I actually I'm gonna meet a friend for coffee in about half an hour, but it was nice chatting again. So hopefully we can like I said, it'd probably be at least in 4 weeks because I'm going to the UP in a couple. But yeah.
Fair enough. In the meantime, I'll probably do some collaboration with DC. Uh, we try and get Bart here on Monday, but it's not his schedule. It's not my schedule. We're just both absolutely jam packed, and we're on opposite sides of the earth.
Yeah, that's yeah, time differences are like for me at least I'm an early riser, so it's like, well, it's not that early here right now, but if it's early morning for me, then
Yeah, fair enough. Thanks for joining, guys, and thanks so much, Juliet, as well for coming on. If anyone wants to subscribe to her, please do. I believe her name is on the screen right now. Her channel name is Juliet's Autistic Experience, and you can find her there. She does regular uploads, rated herself as carnivore autistic mother of 3. I'd recommend checking this out. And obviously, the more you interact with her stuff, the more interesting it is for her to actually make content. If you want to hear more from her, please actually, comment on her stuff, like it, make yourself known. Because if you're watching her stuff and you enjoy it and you want more frequent uploads, ask her. Say, can you do a video on? She might tell you where to go, but she also might be obliging to share it. So we'll see.
yeah, I love the engagement. Yeah. Well, thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Thanks so much. Bye bye.
Carnivore Optimized. This isn't just an ebook, it's a call to arms. This is a radical blueprint for those who refuse to bow to the modern health crisis. It's built on ancestral truth, forged in pain, and written by Jonathan Griffiths, autistic athlete, spine disease warrior, and founder of Carnivore Muscle. This 80-plus page guide dismantles the lies we've been sold and hands the power back to you. You'll learn why meat heals and fake food harms, how to restore energy, hormones, and focus, strength training without burnout, tools to beat fatigue, gut issues, and brain fog, how to stay strong in a weak world. Every purchase is a stand against the globalist agenda, fueling a movement to return health, power, and freedom back to the people. Rebuild yourself. Reclaim your fire. Own your biology. Download now